Greetings and welcome, minions, to another episode of Let's Play
Heyday.
Dungeons 2, a game of winter. Then which way will they go? Will they go upstairs? Oh, up there. Not upstairs. I mean, they can rebuild their camps all they want. I'll just attack them in the rear. I mean, it'll still take them a while to get anywhere close to where I am. Right, let's just clear all this stuff out. And all these bloody ends. Just snipe them to speed things up.
Hello? Anyone home? Workers are building one outpost after the next, and the dozing evil sits around on its icy butt. Would someone please be kind enough to, in future, intercept these workers before they can build an outpost? The corrupting evil's units fought their way on through the icy forest. It seemed as if they were slowly nearing the Brotherhood's oh-so-good fortress. They would soon put an end to all that brotherly love.
Alright.
The wily evil's mindless army had laid waste to another stretch of land, and lo and behold, the forest opened up to show a path out. The Brotherhood fortress was certain to lie in that direction.
There. That should at the very least slow you down a bit. Which will give me some time to actually do something useful over here. Alright, now the treacherous climb up. Right, that went well. Let's clear out all the catapults. And just one more tower to go on this side. Right. Nothing to worry about over there. Alright. So we've secured fort, at least in the rear. Let's make sure not gonna see any more annoying camps springing up anytime soon. Right, let's just clear out all the defensive forces outside, so I won't have any more spawns coming in to distract me. And then my force should be big enough to deal with whatever is coming in. Oh, did I lose one of my... I did. Oh well, it was inevitable with all that shooting going on. Alright.
ruthless evil's troops cut through the Brotherhood outpost like a hot knife through a snow cone.
That's one way to describe it, sure. Alright, come on in. I know you've got a bard with you.
Entered the dungeon.
He cannot help you now. Alright, so that's dealt with that.
It's payday.
Let's clear house.
Ice Palace, I mean the Brotherhood Fortress, fell. The last debris sank into the snow. The corrupting evil had triumphed and now controlled the frozen fields of Elsa. The way was now free.
You fool! You're not ready! The others will crush you if the priestess doesn't.
Him again? Okay. I'm going to insist on a must not be interrupted by strange frock wearers clause in my contract. Nevertheless, he had a point. The corrupting evil was not yet strong enough for a major confrontation. It would require another malicious act to strengthen itself. Following this insight, and because it had no choice but to submit to the narrator's whim, the corrupting evil turned its gaze to the southwest. There lay the Fountain of Youth. The Alliance's elves have been drinking from these ancient springs for centuries, and this has made them immortal. The death-bringing evil would put this immortality to the ultimate test. The corrupting evil had to increase its power by performing another evil deed. The Fountain of Youth, an ancient spring that granted the pixies and elves of the Alliance immortality, made a perfect target. It would be easy to desecrate the Fountain of Youth and then feast on those goody-goody whiners' pain.
Yeah. Being sure that's not a particular plot that was ripped off from any other franchise at all, but you know. Well, it's not anywhere near as dramatic as the sacking of the Sunwell, but still.
As the corrupting evil's greedy gaze perused the Valley of Life, it was forced to cover its eyes. All that joy and love of life was simply too much. And the Fountain of Youth was to blame for it all. A bastion of good and the source of elven immortality. The springs were surrounded by rainbows, lush green meadows, and other colorful finery, which made evil's eyes burn. Yet its undead creatures were unimpressed, for their eyes had ceased to see centuries earlier, fortunately. The Fountain of Youth was guarded by Alliance heroes. Young, fresh, good-looking, strong heroes. Still, the killer of all living evil would soon spring into action and desecrate every aspect of the Fountain of Youth, thereby turning it into mud and mire. Barthas impatiently awaited his orders.
Exactly. Destroy all that lives.
That was exactly what the corrupting evil liked about its general. It sneakily set to work building a dungeon from which it could move against the do-gooders.
Yes, that's indeed what we must do. Now, as it alludes to there in that particular dialogue, This is going to be slightly different from how we've been getting evil up until this point, where we had just been given a lump sum of evil for doing any particular thing, like destroying houses in a city and all that. Not so here. Here, we must capture a couple of these nodes, well, at least one of these nodes, but preferably more than one, and we'll get a trickle of evil as long as we hold the node. I think that will not be that difficult. Indeed, it will not be. If nothing else tries to interfere. But I'm sure nothing else is coming this way, is there? It's certainly a much more interesting bit, since the heroes will be trying to keep hold of their territory and possibly even take it back. Now, the only entrance they have into here is over on this side, so who do I want? What do I want over here? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then double that up on that side. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's not gonna fit. So let's take liberties. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I need to see how much more I have to work with. Alright, let's get a few on the field, so we can actually start doing something.
But the corrupting evil had not reckoned on the chaotic evil while planning its evil deeds. Its demonic brood always appeared in the most inconvenient places, just like here. The question was, what brought them here? The Fountain of Youth's benign nature had attracted them, for the chaotic evil also thirsted for evil deeds. In fact, it drooled just thinking about the evilness that would arise from the destruction of the Fountain of Youth.
Quit your jibber-jabber, mate. We can't let that brood anywhere near the Fountain of Youth. It's ours. Destroy the living. Destroy the demons.
And so the contest between corruption and chaos began. Both strove to spoil the springs and feast on the results.
Come on. We need to take all areas of the Fountain of Youth.
Well, I'll certainly be striving for it. But for that to work, I need some gold. Because you did start me off with nothing. I mean, do I have to research any spells? Yeah, the level 2 spells need to be researched. That's fine, I can work with that. Alright, let's get some bone warriors in here. Let's get going, I guess, after all the easy gold.
It's payday.
All right. And we've got spiders or whatever creature is in there. Sure, why not? Challenge never hurt anyone. At least the heroes will be just as busy with the chaotic evil as with me. And I can't really stop them because they have a shield apparently. But I need to start collecting evilness ASAPly. And in order to do that, I really need some zombies. Right.
Hopefully no one has arachnophobia. A spider nest has been discovered.
That's fine, I'll just have to wait until my warriors come in. There's more spiders over there. Brilliant. Alright. Let's start creating a little bit of space. Alright, that's one spider nest dealt with. Because now I do need a cemetery.
The mindless army's dead shuffling had not gone unnoticed. With the courage of despair, the Fountain of Youth's mortal defenders threw themselves against the corrupting evil. Their death was certain. Whether they would stay dead depended on whether or not Melty Sand had already built her new altar.
Right. Alright, so the devils already have one. Can't let them win. So let's get a cemetery. And you want a final resting place. I know, I know. Alright, let's get another one over there.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Alright, well, Balthus is over here, so that should be fine. Alright, that's right over there. Nope. Well, that'll have to be the end of this episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.